Hello, everybody. Welcome to Let's Stream Dark Cloud 2. I have been waiting for this one for a long time. I originally tried playing through this way back in my YouTube days as one of my first Let's Plays. Due to technical errors that failed. I tried it a few years later, and I had to end it that time due to college taking over my life. And at the time, the quality was poor. If you ever decide to look at my YouTube channel and find those playthroughs, you will see what I mean. And for those of you watching this on YouTube, you'll have an immediate frame of reference, and this one has been a long time. Also, Haldo Roleplay ZZ, Haldo Star, my Twitch mods. Merrick is somewhere, I'm sure. He's my newest mod. I've also been playing around with the microphone volume sliders, so if I'm a bit too loud relative to the game, please let me know. But anyway, like I said, I've been wanting to do this one for a long time. This is my favorite game of all time, hands down, bar none. This more or less set the standard for my taste in genre. Primarily, what this did was this was my gateway into the dungeon crawler. So we're going to be starting a new game here. Now, something that's a bit different in this playthrough compared to what I did with my attempted ones in the past is I'm actually playing this one on New Game Plus, sort of. New Game Plus really doesn't change that much. It allows you to sequence break if you decide to do that, and if you want to go for 100% completion, you actually have to play on New Game Plus to get some collectibles that you can only get past the point of no return, where you can't save anymore. So, yeah, kind of needed for that. But otherwise, since I'm not using it for sequence breaking purposes, what I'm using it for is any costumes that you pick up throughout the game, you actually get to keep for subsequent playthroughs, and you can just choose them here on the character creation screen without having to purchase them later. Which will just save me some money and some time. So, I want to ask my viewership at the moment, which more or less just consists of my mods. There are 2 playable characters you can control in the game. Technically 3 if you count the side character you can pick up. Only 2 of which can actually be customized with a costume. This is the main character, this is Max. I would like your guys' decision on how Max should look. You think you guys are up for that? Because I already have a costume in mind for the second character, and I'd like some audience participation, sort of. So, the only rule I have for the costumes with Max is no clown suit. I hate how the clown suit looks. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, it's, yeah, no clown outfit. This thing is atrocious. I hate how this looks. It's just, ugh, my eyes. It makes me retch. So, yeah. You can choose any combination of stuff that you want, just not the clown stuff. Now, Max is interesting because he actually has 2 official costumes depending on what region you're playing the game in. This is his official costume if you're playing in the States. Darn, no cosplaying Pennywise then. Sorry, Star. But, yeah, this is Max's default costume and official costume if you're playing the North American version. If you are playing the PAL or Japanese versions, the denim overalls are instead replaced with the green overalls. This is his official Japanese appearance. My hopes and dreams shattered. I'm sorry. But yeah, so, what do you 2 want to start with? Again, discounting the clown suit. Unfortunately, I can't... Oh, there we go. I can zoom in, kind of. I just can't get, like, zooming in on particular parts. Like, I can't zoom in on his head or whatever. So, let's see. Your options for the head are the hunting cap, which is just like your standard leather, almost looks like a press boy cap, kind of. You have a fashionable cap, which each one of these, for the most part, comes in a set. Like, the fashionable cap goes with the red vest and the wing shoes. Let's see. Two-tone beret stands on its own. Maintenance cap is supposed to go with the denim overalls and the work shoes. The Explorer's helmet you actually get from a side quest during the game, but you can choose it here in New Game Plus. This is what this looks like. We're skipping the clown suit. And then, let's see, yeah, then the green overalls and the leather shoes. There are two items that are sort of distinct, that don't include themselves as part of a set. That's the dragon shoes and the two-tone beret. These two are unique unto themselves. They do not fall into any particular set. So, if you guys want to use those, just say so. So, what do you guys think? What should we do? Kupo says, maintenance cap, green overalls, work shoes. What do you think, Star? I'm checking something with the... This sounds a bit... Yeah, that should be stereo. Why does that... Sorry, I was checking the plugins for the emulator I'm using. Star says, honestly, I kind of like Kupo's idea. Okay, so we'll go with this then. We'll go with the maintenance cap, the green overalls, and the work shoes. Now, if you're playing on a regular new game, you will get the choice to pick Max's costume from the 3 default sets, and that's it. Because we're playing New Game Plus, we get to dress the second character. This is Monica. Let's see. I know exactly what I want to do for her. Let's see. I want the swallowtail, the striped dress, and the wing boots. There we go. That looks good. Now, if you decide to do the no change option, this will give her her default costume for cutscenes, and we'll treat it as though you were playing a regular new game. So let's get started. Ooh, I'm excited.
What? Those monsters are in my father's room? Father!
Okay, so this is going to give us a basic, sort of combat tutorial. This game was released in, I want to say it was 2002 or 2003 in the States for the PlayStation 2. So it's going to show a PlayStation button layout. I'm playing this on PC with the PCX2 PlayStation 2 emulator for capture purposes using an Xbox 360 controller. But the mapping is more or less the same. X on Xbox is A, circle I think is B? Either B or X, I want to say it's B. And then R1 is right bumper, L1 is left bumper, and it's pretty simple. So we'll start by locking on, okay, it's B. And guarding is your friend in this game. So guard whenever you aren't sure of what the enemy's doing. Now there actually are a few context-sensitive stuff, or context-sensitive moves you can perform. Darklight 2 was released in November of 2002. Thank you, Star, I knew it was somewhere in there. Ooh, nearly got smacked there. You actually can die in this tutorial section, and you will get a game over. Okay, I'm actually going to go into the menu by pressing triangle. I want to go to the options and change a few things. Let's see, vibration off. That's annoying. Message speed fast. Time speed we'll want to mess with throughout the game. Map display 3, and leave everything else on. There we go. There we go. That's better. Now I don't have to listen. Now I don't have to feel the controller rumble in my hands. Now there are, as I mentioned, a couple of different moves you can do, because combat mostly revolves around using the X button to use your melee attack. In combat, if you are locked onto somebody, you also have directional inputs that you can do to perform different moves. For example, now this is relative to the enemy. This isn't based on just like a flat stick movement. It's based on your position relative to the enemy. So in this case, what I want to do is I want to go over this way. and wait for him to do that attack right there. So if you tilt the control stick away from the enemy and then press the attack button, you'll do an evasive maneuver and dodge back. You do have iframes while you're in the air, not while you're on the ground. Now, if you tilt the control stick towards the enemy and attack, you'll do a jumping attack. Both characters have this, both characters have the dodge. Now, you can also perform a shortened attack or a shortened combo by pressing forward on the control stick mid-combo. Where you do this is dependent on the weapon, because combo type's dependent on what weapon you're using. This is a 4-hit weapon, so we want to tilt the control stick forward after the second hit. There we go. Yeah, that's how you do it. There's other melee combat mechanics, but I'll go over those when they become more relevant, and we have enemies that are, well, more sturdy than those guys.
Dear Mother, how are you? I'm doing fine. So much has happened that I don't know where to start. Well, I guess it's easiest to start at the beginning. It all began that night. Right, that night of the storm. Oh, I'm soaked.
Ha, Max. Pretty early today, huh?
Yeah, I guess, but take a look at this. Haha, ta-da! Check this out. I got a ticket for Flotsam Circus Troupe.
Oh, good for you. Your dad's not gonna try to stop you?
He said I could go.
Well, you'd better finish your work quick then, huh?
Right.
Hey, Max, what's that you got there?
What's this? Father gave it to me yesterday. Always wear it, he said. It's pretty old. I don't know what it is. Well, can I get started?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Gable's vacuum is set up below. Go to it, lad.
Leave it to me.
Alright, so this is the first time we can actually walk around in a non-combat environment, so it's pretty simple. Use the control stick to move. Some areas have a fixed camera angle like this. Others have an open camera that you can rotate with the right stick. This floating book here is a save point. We'll use one of those later. But the first thing I want to do, what we need to do is go to that table right there with the vacuum cleaner on it. But first, we need to go down here and pick up a few things. We need to look in here, I believe. Get a wrench. We need that to progress with the plot, and you want to pick this up too. This is a key item called the notebook. Now, let's see. I want to go into my inventory and organize a few things here. You can auto-sort the inventory, but I really don't like how the game does auto-sorting, so I prefer manual sorting. So, oh yeah, to access the menu, you press triangle like this. If you press start, it just pauses the game. Like that. So you want to press triangle if you want to pause. It's effectively the same thing. So we have some commands here, but the only one I'll really go over besides options is item, because the other ones really aren't relevant. So this is our inventory. You press triangle to pick up an item and manually move it around. So I want the metal holder right there, notebook right there. We're going to use the circuit ticket soon, so I'll leave that where it is. Let's see, I want to put these repair powders right here. The tasty water and the antidote drink right there. Actually, wait, no, it's food, then status. Yeah, like that. Okay, there we go. Yep. Just trying to remember how I do my inventory sorting. And the wrench and the circus ticket, despite being key items, which usually go at the top, we're going to be using these really soon, so I'll just keep them at the bottom because they'll be removed anyway. The notebook is for side quests. We're not going to be able to do side quests yet. For right now, it's pretty straightforward. This must be Gable's vacuum. Let's get started on fixing it.
Okay, here we go. Ah, this is the Anbar Type 2 here. This is a pretty specialized hose attachment. Oh, I see the problem.
Ah!
Well, is everybody ready? Let's have a stupendous show tonight! Let's make this a night of wonder! All right, all. Let's get to work!
Sleeping on the job.
Oh no! It's about to start. Why the heck didn't it go off? Huh? He's gone?
Alright, we're going to use this save point real quick. Now, as I'm using an emulator, I could use save states, but there's really nothing in the game that would require you to use save states, unlike Dark Cloud 1 and the dual mechanic. Right, I'm going to have to get used to the inverted camera. Keep in mind, lately I've been playing Vampire on Steam, which uses slightly different camera controls and a different control setup despite both being action RPGs. So, muscle memory will be in effect for a little while.
You need a ticket to go in.
This is our tutorial where whenever you see this exclamation mark, that means you can press the square button, in my case X on the Xbox controller, to open a Use Item context menu, and you have to use a particular plot coupon, in this particular instance the circus ticket, to progress with the plot. This is also how you use keys to open doors in the dungeon.
Here you go. Hey! My ticket! Oh, I can't believe it! Of all the...
Alright, now this is our introduction to talking to people. If you walk up to an NPC and press the X button, or A in my case, you'll engage them in conversation. Now, something to note for you speedrunners out there, these first three conversations that you have to have play automatically. You can't mash the button to speed through it. If you do that, you'll just constantly repeat the cutscene over and over again.
Did you see a little red-headed kid come this way?
Nope. You see anything?
He headed towards City Hall.
Anything wrong? Yeah, some red-headed kid just stole my ticket.
Did you see a red-haired boy run by?
Oh, yes, just now. I'm certain I saw him heading that way.
Thank you. Thankfully, this plaza is circular.
Sorry, but I have to go to City Hall.
Okay, well that's telling us, hey, that's City Hall. Remember that for the future. Yeah, something else you can do while you're in a free camera area like this is if you want your camera centered behind your character, you can press the circle button. press the R2 button to switch to first person, which is actually very handy. In first person, you use the left stick to move the camera around. As you can see, the world we currently are playing in has 2 moons.
Hey, did you see a red-haired boy?
Me? No, sorry.
I see. Huh? Hey! Gotcha! Hand over the ticket.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to see the circus. Just once.
You really want to see the circus, huh?
I'm sorry. I promise I'll never do it again.
All right. Here you go.
Huh?
Come on, it's yours.
Really?
Yep. I'll go see it next time.
Wow, thanks. Really?
You'd better go now. It's about to start.
Okay, see ya.
What?
You passed. You might be able to do it. Hurry, the first door is waiting for you.
What is going on?
So this little kid just disappears into thin air in a flash of blue light, and somehow the nearby pedestrians don't see this. But anyway, we got our ticket back. Alright, now this is the point where you really want to save. Nothing unusual here, move along. Indeed, Kupo, indeed. Oh, nope, not that one. It's gonna take me some getting used to save on file 2, because I'm so used to doing file 1 by default. So anyway, by the way, the reason I have that file 1 instead of overwriting it is that's my game clear data. I overwrite that, I lose my New Game Plus until I finish the game again. Alright, here's your ticket, now let me in. Excuse me?
Here it is.
Hurry up, it's starting.
Yep. Hey, this is no good. I can't see anything. Wow.
I mean, that's one way to do it. Climb near the rafters if you can't see past the crowd of generic NPCs. Excuse me, I need to clear my throat again. That is one agile pachyderm.
Well, Mayor, you're certainly looking well. Well, if it isn't my favorite roasted chestnuts! You thought of everything.
Huh? What's this about?
Oh, this is good. Indeed, this town's chestnuts are the best!
Is that the mayor?
So, have you found it?
Well, not yet. You see...
Now, Mayor, are you really trying hard enough? You know what happens if you don't find the stone, don't you?
Wait, please, I'm trying my best to find it. Please, I need more time.
Ah, well, what can you do? But remember, this chance is your last!
Are you sure that the stone is in this town?
Oh, yes. Oh, I can smell it. I can smell it! The stone is in this town! Absolutely!
But we've turned the mine inside out looking for it. We couldn't find a trace.
Oh, sweet Mayor, we've been through this. I've told you before, I don't tolerate excuses! Ah, but the people in this town really are living the sweet life, huh? Not knowing anything of the outside world, they're lost in their carefree lives. With such a pack of ninnies, no wonder they can't find a single stone.
You can't tell anyone about the outside. There'd be a panic. Then no one would be able to look for your stone.
Oh, I know, Mayor Pooh. We'll keep it our little secret. Huh? Darn! Who are you?
Max? Run! Hurry!
Wake up, fools! Did you see it? The red stone around that boy's neck! We found it at last! Well, what are you waiting for? Get him!
Now let that just our luck. We just want to spend a night at the circus and we end up getting chased down by the Jedi Clown Mafia. Classic protagonist curse, indeed. Looks like we're becoming part of the show. Char, I didn't give you mod privileges so you can make bad puns. Okay, so regarding this next bit, one of the things I really love about Dark Cloud 2 is the music, especially the regular battle theme, which is about to play here. I'm probably going to be talking over it for the most part for the remainder of the game because I'll be commentating on other stuff. So I'm just going to be quiet for this next bit to let you guys enjoy the battle music and just how awesome it is.
Whoa!
Use your wrench! And we get our first weapon, the Battle Wrench.
All right, I guess this will have to do.
Oh, come on. I didn't even break a sweat fighting those 4 guys. What's 4 more? Okay, more music to enjoy here. This one's one of my more favorite themes in the game. I have the OST, by the way.
Well, boys, shall we begin then?
As the main character outnumbered, proceeds to attack one at a time. Well, yeah, that's called Luke Chivalry. Though, in practice, they actually don't do that much. In the dungeons, random monsters can and will gang up on you if you let them. Heck, even in that instance, they will not hesitate to gang up on you if you allow them to. It just seems like their AI just was like, just hang back a bit.
Do these guys ever quit?
Use your wrench, Max!
What now?
The leader of the Clown Mafia!
Hand over the pendant, boy! Hand it over now, and I'll let you leave here alive.
Pendant? What, this?
Don't do it!
Huh?
Well, what's it gonna be?
You can't give it to him. It's too important.
Hand it over! Now!
No, I won't.
Well, if it's going to be that way, then die! Oh, nowhere to run now, boy! You idiot! He's behind you! Quickly, after him!
Max! This way!
I was so scared then, but in a way it was really fun. I mean, every boring day had been just the same for me. This was the beginning of a real adventure.
I'll take my chances, racing time, rewriting the book for all to see. On my own, I can ride the winds of change to heal a broken time, a broken world. In the dark, a candle is the sun to light our way back home. It's a dream, it's a hope that one day we'll be free. Give me strength to open up the door. Only the strong ones can stand the test of time. Caught in between these two worlds, finding our way. The sun will rise to pierce the skies when this wonderful world starts to shine. When this wonderful world starts to shine.
Now, that happens to be one of my favorite songs, and normally I'd be singing it for you, but my throat's kind of phlegmy from dinner, so no karaoke cat for you tonight.
You okay?
Yeah. You saved me, Donnie.
Hey, don't mention it. What happened out there? Who are those guys?
Flotsam Circus Troupe.
Why are they after you?
I think I heard something I wasn't supposed to. I didn't understand exactly what was going on, but I needed to get out of there.
Yeah.
Donnie, what is this place?
It's the underground water channel supplying the town.
Really?
You could also call it my secret base.
Wow. I never knew this place existed.
Not too bad, huh? Those clowns will never find you here. Just relax.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's been a while since we've saved. We had a long string of multiple cutscenes, so saving would not be a bad idea.
So what are you gonna do?
So, this being a JRPG, in order to move the plot forward, the game uses but thou must situations. You have to say what the game wants you to say in order to move the story forward. If you say, I think I'll lay low here a while, you'll just back out and can't really do much of anything else.
Underground water channel, so this goes outside of the town, right?
But thou must go crawl through the sewers.
Yeah, I guess.
Exactly.
Hey, Max, what are you cooking up?
Something's going on in the outside world.
What?
That Flotsam guy is threatening the mayor.
What? Why?
I'm not sure myself. But Flotsam said it. The whole town's living a carefree life, not knowing what's going on outside. What does that mean?
Don't know.
But after Blackstone Railroad went out of service, no one's left town. And it's not that they don't leave. They can't leave. The reason why the mayor doesn't open the gate must be so that people don't see the outside world.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I'm going.
Huh? Going? Where? You're not thinking of...
Uh-huh. I'm leaving this town.
Oh, hold on there. Seriously? But there's all kinds of weird creatures in the channel.
I'll be fine. I usually use this to fix things, but it makes a pretty good weapon, too.
No use trying to stop you now. Hold on a sec. Voila!
This is...
A gun.
My baby. But you'll need it more. It gets a little rowdy around here, so this guy'll come in handy.
Wow, really? It's okay?
Take it already.
Thank you, Donnie.
And we get our second weapon, the classic gun. Now, I'm going to hold this here for a second to explain a combat mechanic. In the first game, there were 6 characters you could choose from. Each character had a weapon of choice. In this game, there are 2, technically 3 characters you can choose from, and 2 of the 3 can dual wield. Max will wield wrenches and hammers. He's essentially Goro. And his offhand has guns. So he's kind of a combination of Goro and Osmond from the first game.
And with this one, we can keep in touch while you're in the channel. If you get lost, just give me a buzz.
You look a bit young for alcohol. Oh, not that kind of buzz. My bad.
Watch yourself, Max.
Yep. Donnie, I need you to keep an eye out for those guys here.
No problem. Whatever you say. Huh? Hey, why do I have to stand watch?
I just realized something.
Max?
My follower count was not visible. That's...
Sorry, Donnie, but I want to see the outside world with my own eyes.
That's kind of embarrassing. Whoops.
Chapter 1. To the Outside World.
And we are in our first dungeon, the underground water channel. So, general rule of thumb when it comes to dungeon crawling, save before and after every floor. You never know what might happen. You might die. You might have a power outage. You might lose hours of progress because you neglected to do so. This is not a lesson you want to learn the hard way. This game is not fun, or it is fun. It's not hard, but it is pretty lengthy. You don't want to lose like half a chapter's of progress because you didn't bother to save and your power went out. So anyway, some mechanics or information we can see here. Every floor has an episode name and information. This floor's episode name is To the Outside World. You'll notice these things here that say time limit to clear all monsters, clear all without healing, and total monsters defeated. Total monsters defeated is just a little thing that tells you more or less how many times you ran through the floor. On average, a floor will have anywhere from, I think it's like 16 to 24 monsters in it per run. It's randomly generated. The map layout here is static, but the individual floor layouts are randomized every time you go into them. So, like, let's say I clear this floor and decide to come back, I won't get the same layout twice. There are very few floors that have consistent floor layouts. And even then, those are, I think there's only like 2 of them that I can think of. But anyway, what these are, like the time limit to defeat all monsters and clear all without healing, these are little side challenges you can do to earn medals. Medals are part of a side quest where they're basically a secondary currency. If you collect medals, you can buy unique objects from a very specific vendor. They can range in utility from completely useless, which is costumes for the most part. All the costumes we had access to in the character creation screen. If you can't buy them from a merchant or make it yourself, you have to get it through medals. And I already have all of them from a previous playthrough specifically to avoid this problem. So I don't need to use medals to get the costume pieces I want. There are also some unique items that you can only get from the medal shop, but I may or may not show off a glitch you can do with one of those later, but I'm not going to be going out of my way to get medals, and we'll be getting more than enough throughout the game to not really have to worry about it. I pity anybody who's playing this on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, because this game did receive a sort of updated re-release for those systems on the PlayStation Store, and among other things, that got achievement support. One of the achievements is going through the entire game and collecting every medal. There are hundreds of dungeon floors with challenges ranging from, I think, like 3 to 6, I think. So anywhere from 3 to 6 medals per floor, and some of them can get pretty obnoxious, like not being able to use your weapons, or doing it with a specific character when the enemies on that floor have an advantage over that character. It can get really bad, and I feel bad for anybody who is an achievement whore and feels like going out of their way to get that one. But anyway, let's proceed, shall we? The dungeon crawling is the main meat of the game, and the main reason I love it. Oh, right, I actually have control over the cutscenes now.
It's like a maze. Could get lost pretty easy here.
Okay, then you need to get the floor map. It should be in one of the treasure chests on that floor. The floor map will show you where you are on a particular floor. Shouldn't get lost if you have one. If you don't want the map in the way, you can turn it off and on with the select button. Alright, in order to get to the next floor, you need the gate key. I think the one in the channel's called the key handle. If you use the gate key on the exit for that floor, you can get to the next floor. Just keep doing that and you can get to the end of any dungeon. Got it, Max?
Roger, Donnie. I'll give it a try.
Okay, so now we are in the dungeon proper. I will skip over this text because I can explain it way better than the game can. So, some basic controls in the dungeons that can only be applied in the dungeons. First is the map. You can see there's an overlay to my right, with the sort of translucent blue flooring and the green arrow dictating my position. You can change the size and positioning of this map by pressing the select button. Right now we have it set to 3, which is the full map. You have no map, a partial map, or a full map. I usually prefer to look at the full map because I don't have trouble differentiating between the layers when combat shows up. Let's see. In the top left, which is somewhat hidden by my follower count, you have the hit points and active inventory slots. You can slot items here to use as sort of a shortcut. Like, for example, if I wanted to, I could drop some bread in one of these slots, and if I ever needed to heal, I could, instead of going into the menu and using the bread, cursor over whatever slot the bread's in, press square, and it'd use the bread right then and there to heal me instantly. Let's see, to the right, you have your weapon heads-up display. This is unique among JRPGs for the time, where weapons actually have durability, and one of the main mechanics is making sure that you keep them up to snuff, both by making sure that they stay in tip-top condition, and by making sure that you develop them properly, because unlike most JRPGs, the progression is not character-based, it's weapon-based. But we'll go over that when we actually have weapon upgrades available. Okay, so you can see some more map data. The green arrow is where we are. A red dot indicates an enemy. If they're close enough, you'll see that crystal over them, which means you can walk onto them. And an orange dot is a treasure chest. There's also yellow dots, purple dots, and a couple other things that I'll go over as we see them. So, some more combat basics. Let's see. Now, during the combat tutorial earlier with Monica in the castle, we got a basic kind of rundown. This is where we're going to be using our first ranged attack. To use a weapon in your offhand, you press the L1 button and you'll go into a ranged stance. From there, you want to press the attack button and you'll open fire. Now, I want to wait for one of these guys to stop popping. There we go. Now, a big part of the combat in this game, if you want to make it easy, is always aggro and drag away. You don't want to be fighting groups. Alright, now this is a new enemy. This is a froggy. Enemies have different attacks with different properties, such as damage, any status effects they may be able to inflict, if at all, and whether or not you can block them. Froggies are one of the more annoying enemies in this dungeon because you can't block anything they do, and if you try, you will probably get poisoned for your trouble. So the best thing to do is to use a charge attack against them after they attack you. So kind of in the middle of their attack energy. Because as you can see, when I use a charge attack, that poison projectile just passed right through me. To use a charge attack, it's the same as most 3D Zelda games. To do the spin attack, you press and hold down the attack button, you'll flash after a bit, and then you can execute it. While you're in the middle of executing your charge attack, you are invincible. So you can kind of use that to brute force your way past enemies that like spewing projectiles at you or attacks that you can't block. So I'll open that chest in a minute. Let's deal with this guy. This is a sewer rat. Sewer rats have 2 attacks. They'll either headbutt you or swing the log they have wrapped around their tail. They also have the ability to dodge backwards. If they backstep, you want to guard almost immediately because 9 times out of 10 when they backstep, they follow it up with a headbutt. Alright, so this is a Zelda inspiration, talking about charge attacks and Zelda stuff. The magic crystal is effectively the compass. It shows you everything on the floor, or at least everything special like enemy and treasure chest positions. When we start seeing other kind of stuff like purple and yellow dots, it'll also show those as well. One of the treasure chests also has a map which will show the entire floor. Oh! Hey, it's a member of the Clown Mafia! Now these guys are actually unique because not only are they a unique enemy type unto themselves, they are the only enemy who will go out of their way to attack you the second they see you, instead of waiting for you to get into an arbitrary range. Now, this is kind of a bad situation because I've got 3 of them attacking me, and unlike the ones in the circus, these guys can throw knives at you. So what I kind of want to do is kind of get them all on one side of me, kind of like this, and I don't want... Oh, this is really bad. Okay. I want to try and get them all to one side without throwing their knives at me and prepare a charge attack to knock them all down. Very few enemies are resistant to knockdown, so if you wanted to, it's a perfectly viable strategy just to spam charge attacks and knock things down. Just be aware that using charge attacks in the early stages of the game will do more damage to your weapon. That's right. Come on, group up, group up. Okay, I had to take a hit there, but boom! As you can see, charge attacks are AoE. They do a lot of damage. Here, pick up that. Yeah, one thing you may also notice is that when enemies die, they drop their experience as part of their loot pool, so you actually need to pick up the experience in order for it to count. Okay, weapon gained a level, but it'll probably give me that tutorial after this guy's dead. There we go. No? No tutorial popped up? Okay. Well, you'll notice we leveled up there. We did not level up, our wrench did. So if you go into the menu here, you can actually put your cursor over your weapon. Instead of the battle wrench, we now have a battle wrench +1. The blue crystals that enemies drop are called ABS. They're basically weapon experience. When that blue gauge fills, your weapon gains a level. Every time your weapon gains a level, it gains a little bit of attack, a little bit of durable, and it gets 1 to 6 synthesis points, or I think it might be 1 to 8, I forget. But it gains synthesis points based on the level of the, or based on the tier of the weapon. This is a tier 1 weapon, so we're going to be getting 3 points per level, I believe. Now, something the game does not mention about the weapon leveling up system is you see we are a battle wrench +1. If you are leveling up a weapon, the first 5 levels from +1 to +5 will actually give you extra attack. Like, I think the usual rate for most level ups is you will get +1 attack and +1 durable, and that's it. For the first 5 levels, you will gain anywhere from, I think it's like an extra 2 to 5 attack, depending on the tier of the weapon for the first 5 levels. So for here, I think for the first 5 levels, we gain an extra 2 attack per level up until +5. So let's see, we also want to organize our inventory some. The health receiver up there. I'll leave these like they are, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. We'll go over these later. And the gun has experience too. I'm mainly going to focus on the wrench for now. The gun has its place, but right now I want to focus on the wrench. And this is a JRPG, even if it is more like an action RPG, action-adventure type thing. That's a clown. I hear you walking towards me. Come here. As you can see, our wrench leveling up makes it do more damage. Let's see what's in this chest. Now, I would describe this game, now that I'm a bit more nuanced in game genres and subgenres, I would go as far as to describe this game as a roguelite in some instances because of the dungeon crawling. The dungeon layout's randomized, the enemies are fixed, but the positions of the enemies are random. Sometimes chests are locked, sometimes there's random locked doors. It's great fun. So, you may notice this box here I've been picking up and throwing some crates around. If you press X while guarding, you can pick up small items like this. You can even pick up enemies too, and then you can throw them. Be aware, if you decide to pick up an enemy, you will take a little bit of damage. However, you can throw enemies and boxes and later boulders at enemies to stun them for a preemptive attack. Not all enemies can be stunned, however. I also hope you like this walking pace, because that's as fast as we can move. Now, you may have noticed for a few of these boxes, why I'm picking up and throwing them all, is sometimes they have little item boxes in them and you can get free goodies. It's mostly low-level stuff like bread, repair powder. However, there is some rare treasure you can get from them. And it will be probably my primary source of most of my consumables is just breaking these ones. I'm getting a lot of sea dragon crystals. Let's see, come around here. But anyway, back to what I was saying earlier. This game is a JRPG, so there will be... You might feel the need to do some grinding. Thankfully, if you know what you're doing and take the time to kill every enemy on every floor, you really don't have to stop and grind all that much. As a matter of fact, there's actually some points where the game will force you to grind for side quests. Okay, so now we have a yellow dot. I'll mess with that in a moment. By the way, that purple blob that he's spitting at me, if that hit me, it would be, it would poison me, and I'd take damage over time. Repair powder, I'll take that. Repair powders repair your melee weapons. Fully. It doesn't matter how damaged they are, it's always a full repair. If your weapon's durability hits 0, they will break. Unlike Dark Cloud 1, however, if your weapons break, they do not disappear. Alright, there's the map. But your weapons will not disappear if they break. However, they will lose some of their accumulated experience if they have any. So you really don't want your weapons to break. Usually around 1 or 2 durability is when you want to repair something. The game will warn you when it's getting fairly low. Now, for offhand weapons, there are special types of repair powder. In this case, gun repair powder, which is going to be for our gun, naturally. Hey, speak of the devil. Now, I'm going to mess with this once all the monsters are dead, because interacting with that thing could potentially backfire. For those of you on Twitch who have stuck around during my barony phase, those spinning question mark things are effectively the succubus fountains. You use it, and you'll either get something good or something bad happen to you. And on the off chance I get something bad, I don't want any enemies around that can capitalize on that. There we go. You didn't tell me this the first time I leveled up. I'll go over that when it's relevant. It's not relevant right now, game. Thank you very much. It felt like it this time, indeed. Alright, so I'm gonna stun this thing with a box. Watch this. Surprise! Yeah, when you throw a box or a boulder at an enemy, provided they are not immune to it, some enemies can't be stunned, usually really big ones, they will see stars for a minute and you can feel free to snap them at pleasure. Knocking them down will prematurely knock them out of it though, so you may not necessarily want to do that. As far as status effects go, right now we only have to worry about poison. Poison, as with most RPGs, just deals damage over time. However, in Dark Cloud 2, poison cannot kill you. it will whittle you down to 1 HP, and then, ow. Okay, that was a glitch. Because sometimes the projectile fires ahead of the animation. Doesn't happen often, but it can happen sometimes. Oh, by the way, you do want to be really careful because Max is by himself. If his HP bottoms out and he goes down, you're dead. Game over. Which is why I suggest saving after every floor. But poison. Poison cannot kill you on its own. It can get you down to 1 HP, and other things will find it easier to finish you off. Hold on.
Alright, that takes care of you guys.
I like this. You get rewarded and incentivized to kill all the monsters. So when all the monsters are dead, you'll get that nice little victory cinematic, and you'll get this nice little pleasant tune that's really relaxing. This is called Peace of the World, and it's probably one of my favorite tracks in the game. Hell, this game has probably my favorite game soundtrack of all time. Just so many good tunes. Let's have a listen. Back to it. This is a coin flip minigame, basically. Okay, we got a good effect this time. Basically, it's a game of timing. You time your button press, and the coin will either land on heads or tails, or in this case, an angel or a devil. There are 3 potential effects you can get for each side. The angel will either fully repair your weapons, fully restore your health, and cure your status effects, or give you free bonus experience. The experience you get from the angel coin is more than anything you can get in that current dungeon. However, it is split between your weapons because you didn't explicitly kill anything to get it. I neglected to mention this earlier when I was talking about ABS and experience, but when it comes to combat and determining what weapon actually is getting the experience, it's the weapon that actually deals the kill shot. Okay, so this fully fixed my weapons, so that's very nice. The devil, which is the tail side, can either half your health or half the durability of either your main or offhand weapons. I remember growing up with my stepbrother, who is how I discovered this game. My copy originally belonged to his dad. I remember him telling me he actually had the devil coin kill him once. However, I have played the game so many times and I've never seen that happen. So if anyone tells you that, they are a liar. So anyway, this is how you get out of the dungeon. You have to find the exit, which is marked by this yellow rectangle on the map. If you have the gate key, which you get randomly from one of the monsters, or at least in Dark Cloud 1 it's random, here it's semi-random. It's always going to be the same type of enemy per floor that has the key. So we got this from a rat, for example. If we come back to this floor, it will be on a rat. But you basically use it, open the door, and then you can leave at your leisure. So before we leave, I'm going to organize my inventory. Yeah, I think that's good. And we got the finish without healing goal. I did that not on purpose, but there we go. We got a medal.
I pressed on, deeper into the underground channel. I had said I want to see the outside world to Donnie, but there was a second reason why I wanted to go there.
Your flamme, sir. Bon appétit.
Max, where are your manners? Eat your dinner.
Father? I'd like to ask you something.
Yes? What is it?
About Mother. Where is she?
I'm sure I told you this already. Your mother is doing important work far away from here.
But what's the name of the town, and what job is she doing there?
It's nothing for you to worry about. Eat your dinner.
This is just how you always are. You don't tell me anything.
Young sir? Would you like me to go after him, sir?
Leave him be.
So that gives us a nice little bit of character background for our main character here. We are rich. Okay, so here's a little mechanic that I'd like to show off because I unfortunately did take some damage. If you press the square or circle buttons, you can go back to the entrance of the dungeon. Curiously enough, the underground water channel here is the only dungeon in the game where the entrance is actually classified as a separate dungeon floor. Most other dungeons in the game, when you leave, will either take you to a town or a world map. Or a part of the world map, I should say. But what's important about this is that you cannot die outside of a dungeon. If you leave a dungeon, your health gets completely refilled and any status effects you have will be cleared. It's effectively resting at an inn, but for free. You don't have to save at a save point, you just leave, walk back in, you're fully healed. So if you take any damage, go just leave the dungeon, walk back in, nice and quick, and then save between floors. Alright, so, floor number 2, Battle with Rats. Now, you do want to pay attention to the episode name because that can sometimes give you a hint as to what monster you need to kill. In this instance, you need to kill rats again. Now, I think this floor will be introducing a new enemy type. Might be introducing 2, I don't really remember. I know it's introducing at least 1. So we had clowns, froggies, and rats in the first floor. We'll be seeing those throughout the dungeon, but new enemies will be introduced as we get further in. Scrap of metal, that's a material item. We want to hang on to that. But for right now, there's nothing particularly threatening that I'm worried about, so we can just go on as per usual. Let's go this way first. See what kind of trouble we can find for ourselves. We found trouble of the amphibious variety, it seems. Are you going to glitch out again? Nope. Coming back to me. Slowly but surely my muscle memory's getting corrected. Okay, Battle Wrench +3. Now you notice that it hit +3, it now has these blue arrows next to it. What this means is that the weapon can build up or evolve. You'll notice when I hover over one of these question marks, it'll have some attack or some stats flashing. For this upper one, we need Attack, Smash, and Beast. What this means is that that's the stats you need to raise in order to unlock whatever this is. I can go to the True Battle Wrench right now because I think for this, you just need to have 13 attack power on your wrench in order to upgrade it to here. However, if I did that now, I'd be losing out on free synthesis points and free attack points. So I actually want to leave that alone and get it to level 5. Ah, yeah, I was right. There are 2 new enemies here. We got a... Well, that's a... I'll show you what that is in a minute. I want to drag the froggy away first. The gun is weak to start, but it is good for drawing aggro. Come here. Alright, we have a new enemy, Baron Balloon. These guys are just kind of generic enemies. They have 2 physical attacks that can try crushing you between their hands, or they can throw their hat at you. Both attacks are blockable. They resist the wrench, but that doesn't help them when you can stun lock them to death. And we do have another new enemy over there in the corner. Now, interestingly, Baron Balloons are weak to bullets, so if you want, you can use the gun on them. Now, here's another new enemy, Bats. I think in Dark Cloud 1, these guys can poison you. They can't in this one, though. So, Bats only have the 1 attack, which you've seen it kind of reel back and then try to tackle. That's all it can do. That attack has some really weird hitboxes. and as it's flying, it is immune to stuns and knockdown. Now, ordinarily, I would subscribe to the typical RPG trope of if the enemy has wings, shoot it. However, I want to focus on leveling up my wrench, so the best way to hit that thing is to just kind of do... Oops, didn't mean to do that. Is to just kind of constantly do forward jumping attacks underneath it and hope your weapon comes into contact with it. Come here. Oh, I got... Oh, this is bad. Oh, that was nice! Right at the edge of the hitbox. You got clipped. Take that. I love stuff like that. Alright. What do we got in the chests? Antidote drinks. Those cure poison, if that's not obvious. I will doubtlessly get poisoned at least some point during this adventure, though it won't happen often. Alright, coming down here was beneficial. We got the magic crystal first thing, and it looks like we found most of the chests on the floor. Dead end? Alright. It still pays to look at dead ends because you might find some boxes or something. Never turn down free loot. And you will notice that enemies drop items. Enemies have a drop table that can contain up to 3 things. It's varying chances of whether or not they drop them. And some enemies actually have unique drops that you would actually want to go out of your way to farm if you're interested in doing that sort of thing. So let's organize this like that. There we go. Yeah, see? What'd I tell you? He did a backstep and immediately followed up with a headbutt. Had I not guarded right then and there, I would have been knocked flat on my backside. Oh yeah, something interesting to note about the guard mechanic by pressing R1 you block. For most things that you can do, you can use blocking as a sort of animation cancel. Case in point. You can see I can press guard and he immediately stops mid-swing and raises his defenses. So you can use that if an enemy, like say for example, I'm beating up one enemy and stun locking it and another one comes in from behind and tries to attack me. I can guard cancel to raise my defenses to block the attack from behind. Also, as far as guarding is omnidirectional, as you no doubt noticed from when I got stuck in that pack earlier. So it doesn't matter what direction the attack's coming from, if you're guarding, you'll block it. Alright, let's see, this should be level 4? Yep, almost there. Ooh, we got a holy water, that's a status curing item. I'll put that up there. Yep. Now, this is the introduction of raised platforms. Sometimes you'll find these in dungeons. They're usually just ledges, nothing special. You can't jump, or, well, you can't jump freely. You can only jump as a sort of a dodge, but you can't use it to actually change your elevation. Don't turn your back on an enemy and just ignore them. That's what happens when you do that. I would say you learned your lesson, but unfortunately for you, the lesson was fatal. Now, there are some enemies who can freely switch elevations, though it's a bit more glitchy than you would expect because it's not intended behavior, but they can do it. Mostly it's restricted to enemies that fly. So I bet you guys are wondering what that purple question mark thing is on the map over there. Nope, hold on, we got a clown. Come here. Alright, so you guys might be wondering what this thing is. Whenever you see a pinkish purple question mark on the map, that is a healing pool. You step in it, and you will fully restore your health. Any status effects will get purged, and you'll notice these little fireflies or motes of light or whatever over the water. If these are currently floating over the water, stepping in it will heal you. When you step in it and get healed, the fireflies go away for a time, and they will eventually come back. I'm pretty sure if you're the type of person who's going for those medals, using one of those will invalidate a clear without healing challenge. So bear that in mind when you see one if you're going for that kind of thing. I was afraid my timing would be off and I was about to get a face full of bats, but nope, not a problem. Ooh, almost fell off. Can you get away from the ledge, please? That'd be nice. Okay, that guy is up here on the rise. Surprise! Or I could miss. Whew. Yeah, I've been playing this game on and off for a little over 15 years, so... Or probably getting close to 15 years. I think I started playing this when I was 13 or so. But yeah, about 15 years, so... I like to think I know this game like the back of my hand, enemy strategies and whatnot. Not saying I'm perfect, but I'm pretty damn close. Sorry I'm pausing to rearrange my inventory so often. The nice thing about the inventory system in the game is that you have more than enough inventory space to hold every item you could possibly need. It's just we have to collect the items first in order for them to get to the inventory, and I'd rather them be organized in a very specific way. Once we actually get further into the game and have pretty much everything that the game will allow us to find, there will be like next to no inventory organization after that. But until then, we have to make do. Yes, I think I did that right. I don't need to exit and heal, so I'll go ahead and save. Ghost in the channel. Now this will introduce another new enemy.
The underground channel ran on ahead in front of me. And as I pressed on, heading deeper, for some reason, thoughts of you, Mother, filled my head. I don't remember your face now, Mother, even though I must have seen it so often when I was small.
I noticed this loading screen's a bit different from the others. This one's white with a black text saying now loading instead of being a black screen with the game logo.
Max, can you hear me? Max?
Oh, go on, Star. Where have you heard this voice actor? I'm willing to bet I can guess.
How's it going? Made any progress?
Yeah, looks like I made it to the next floor.
The further in you go, the stronger the monsters are. Watch out.
I will.
To defeat the stronger monsters, you'll need to strengthen your weapons. If you don't take care of your weapons, you'll run into trouble on the next floor.
It took me a moment, but it's the same guy who voices Robin in the OG Teen Titans. Exactly.
If you want to know more about combat, give me a buzz. I'll help you out whenever you want.
a vast majority of the voice actors in the English-speaking versions of the game is basically a who's who of like the 90s, 2000s era of Western animation.
Select Help from the main menu and choose what you want to know about from the list. You're a great fighter, so you'll pick up on it in no time.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Okay, be careful.
For the record, to give some character info, Maximilian, the guy we are currently playing as, is 13 years old. But anyway, regarding that white loading screen, I found this out the hard way because I was playing on aging hardware with an old copy of the game. That particular loading screen is different from the others because that is an anti-piracy measure. That's when the game checks to see if the game you're playing is legitimate or not. If you're playing a cracked copy, it'll terminally freeze the game right then and there, and you can't get by. I remember running into that problem with my legitimate game cartridge because the hardware I was playing on was 13 years old and had never been serviced, and whether or not I got through that was more or less up to random chance. Because the system was old, buggy, and would occasionally flag my legitimate copy as a pirated one. But thankfully, in the world of emulation, we don't have to worry about that. Alright, so here's a new enemy, Night Stalker. This is the second enemy that can throw a projectile at you. It'll throw a curving fireball that homes in on your position. You can dodge it, but you can block it, so why bother? If you're in melee range of them, they'll do this little ballerina spin with their barbed hem of their robes. These are considered an undead enemy if you have anything that's effective against that, but they die just as easily as anything else. Note, however, again, they are flying, so keeping a distance is actually one of the worst ways to fight them. Oh, these things. These guys are annoying. These are turtles. Oh, I'm glad I intercepted that. Okay, so what I want to do is actually use a charge attack to knock that thing over. Ugh. Those things are needlessly aggressive, and they're random in their attack pattern. All they do, their only attack, is to tuck into their shell and roll at you like a boulder. And the speed they roll at you at is random every time they attack. It can be really slow, or they can zoom at you at 88 miles an hour. You can block the spin, but it lasts for a random amount of time, and it has a random cooldown after they stop doing it. So this is definitely a knock them down and finish them off while they're on the floor before they cause you any problems. They will be more annoying later when we have characters that are not proficient at taking them down. So if they roll up like a boulder, wouldn't you be making sure not to take them for granted? Star, am I going to have to revoke your mod privileges on your first day? Really? You love my bad jokes. Yes, and I love you, but you being my boyfriend will not save you from retribution. Alright, I think we just got our weapon to +5. Yes, we did. So, let me move this over here. How about the Bonky Hammer instead? I'll give you the Bonky Hammer later. How's about that? So anyway, our weapon's +5. We've gotten the most attack we can possibly get out of it for the first 5 levels. Weapons have what weapon tiers influence, aside from statistical gains, is they also affect the maximum stats you can have for a weapon. As a tier 1 weapon, if we gain another level, we will hit the maximum attack power that this weapon can possibly have. This cannot get over 19 attack until we evolve it. So what we want to do is go ahead and evolve it now that we've gotten what we need. Now, I think for this one, we need... I want to say it's 9 Smash and 6 Beast, if memory serves, if we want to go that top route. However, I want to go the bottom route, because the bottom route will allow me to get some more points and more experience. Or, well, yeah, more or less just more points, really. Besides, it's a free upgrade. How's this for a Bonky Hammer, Star? How'd you like getting bonked by this? This ain't made of rubber. But I actually do have notes regarding like upgrade paths and stuff like that. I believe it is, yeah, 9 Smash, 5 Beast. Oh, I thought it was 6 Beast. No, I was close. But anyway, now that I've evolved this, I actually want to work on the gun side. Just send me to the Uwu box instead. If I send you to the Uwu box, who's going to be modding my stream? Oh, okay, yeah. Charge attack, too powerful. So from here, I actually want to start moderating what the kind of amount of damage I do. I want to get them low enough to where I can kill them with the gun, but not enough to actually kill them. Magic crystal. Okay, we know where everything is. Okay, we got some enemies that are weak to you do your spin. I can hit you twice. Yep. Now, thankfully, Baron balloons are weak to bullets, so finishing them off with the gun should be really easy. Ah, freaking bat. Take that, rodent. Alright, now you'll notice my wrench's durability is now flashing with a caution sign. That's the game warning me that my weapon's about to break. I'm doing pretty good on HP, so I don't think I'll heal for now. Ah, okay, so here is the channel key. That is not a gate key, that is a secondary key. Sometimes when you're in the dungeon, you will encounter doors that are locked and blocking off a room. In this particular instance, we don't need to worry about it because there's nothing in there, but you would find the key to open those doors inside a chest. I suppose I can show it off just for the sake of it. Now, I'll show it off here, so I don't want to kill all the enemies. One of the other benefits of killing all the enemies and getting into the all monsters are dead sort of world state is if you haven't opened the door, like if you have one of those and you haven't opened the door yet, the door will open on its own without you needing it. Okay, dealing with these guys without killing them in one shot is going to be really annoying. I may have to run away and come back with a box, if there is one. Because if I hit that thing again, I'm going to kill it. Any boxes back here? There is, but I have to get past the Baron balloon first. Okay. That's not going to help. Well, I guess I'll show off what I was talking about earlier then. There we go. The gun starts really weak, so every level we can get for it to boost it up is going to be very, very helpful. Alright, so this should do a little bit of damage and let me fill it with holes. Assuming it doesn't dodge. There we go. There we go.
Takes care of you guys.
And watch that door behind me. See? Gone. I still have the key, but because I killed all the monsters, it just opened on its own. Let's see. Box. And don't worry, that key's not going to clog up my inventory. Once I leave the floor, it'll go away. Okay, let's see. Glass material and thick hides we want to keep. That key will go away on its own. And this stone is useless. We can just sell it for a little bit of cash. So I'll drop that down there where it's out of the way. Okay, now before I head here, going into that next floor is going to trigger a plot event, which will move the plot forward and lock a few things off. So I want to show something interesting that you can do if you decided you want to. If you wanted to stop and do some grinding in this portion of the game, you'd want to do it now. And if you wanted to, you can talk to Donnie. Let me shop. For this part of the game only, for a good while, Donnie has Donnie Mart. He will sell you some basic necessities. He'll sell you bread, antidote drinks, repair powder, gun repair powder, and treasure chest keys. This is the entirety of his stock for the most part. Most merchants will upgrade their stock over the course of the game. Donnie does too, but it's way less frequent than others. And treasure chest keys, what those are is sometimes you will run into a locked chest. There's two different types of locked chest. One requires a key, one requires you to guess what kind of trap it has. If you find one that requires a key, you can use a treasure chest key to open the chest without having to worry about the treasure chest potentially blowing up in your face, literally. However, treasure chest keys are rare and really not worth the investment. So if you really wanted to, if you wanted to shop at Donnie Mart and farm the money for it, you could, but I'm not going to. Oh, actually, I can sell him that stone, get a little bit of extra. But the reason I'm selling the stone is because it is the weakest battle item in the game. There are some items you can put into your active item slot and throw them at enemies to do damage, like bombs and such. The stone is the weakest one of them. It'll do less than double-digit damage. It'll do like 6 to 8. So, useless even here. Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't recommend selling anything because almost everything can be used as a crafting material. This stone is one of the few things that can't. So, free money. 5 gildas, 5 gilda. I'm not too worried about it. And before anybody makes any smart comments, yes, I see the little box on the floor. I'm not going to pick that up until later. I'm aware of its existence. Let's go ahead and save, and we'll trigger this next plot event. Channel Pump Room.
What's all this? Donnie, I've come into a big chamber. There are what look like tanks everywhere.
Ah, that'll be the pump room. The pumps in there are used to draw water from the lake on the outside. You're not far from the outside now.
Gotcha. Thanks, Donnie. I gotta keep going. What the? Flotsam!
And how are we today, Max? I'm quite proud of you for coming all this way through the sewers, you know. By the way, Max, I took the liberty of doing a little research on you. For someone like you, living in a big house with no wants or needs, don't you think it would be a waste if you threw your life away fighting us? And how sad indeed would your dear sweet mother be?
What? What do you know about my mother?
What if I did know something? If you want to know more, give me that red stone. I've got plenty to tell you.
Well? No way. I'll find my mother myself. I don't need help from anyone like you.
Ah, you stinking brat! You'll regret this, I guarantee!
What, do you work for Team Rocket? Is that the best insult you can come up with?
Take care of them, my darling Linda.
Okay, so this is a hopeless boss fight. You cannot hurt Linda in any way. However, unlike most hopeless boss fights in JRPGs, you actually can get a game over here. If you actually get hurt enough by Linda and she bottoms your HP out, you will die and get a game over. You just need to keep hitting her and wasting time until enough time passes.
It's no good. I'll never win like this.
Now then, Max, what will it be?
Uh-oh. Huh?
What? Max, you all right? It's me.
Cedric, you finally completed the ride pod.
So, fun fact about Cedric, you may notice we are wearing the maintenance cap, which is the cap, like, uniform for his shop. It says SMS. You'd think it would say CMS, because that stands for Cedric's Maintenance Shop. It has the first S there because in Japanese, Cedric's name is Sarbull, and it's Sarbull. So, in Japanese, it's Sarbull's Maintenance Shop, and they just never bothered to change the name for English releases.
Yep, I named it Steve. I'm still working out the bugs, but it's got plenty of punch. Well, did you learn your lesson or what?
That's amazing, Cedric.
My sweet Linda couldn't compete with this one.
Oh, we got an ornery son of a gun here. Come back for more, huh? Take that.
I'm just gonna hold this here for a second. Go for it, Cedric! Or not.
What the?
Well, what's wrong?
Actually, I didn't finish that energy backpack yet. I don't think she can handle any more fighting for now. Hop in, Max.
Get on, but it can't move.
Don't you worry about that. There's enough juice to get us back. Come on, get in.
Running away, eh? Linda, get them!
Adios!
Oh my, they've run off! But poor sports!
Morning, Sonny. Sleep well?
Yeah. Tell me, Cedric, why do you think those circus goons are after this pendant of mine?
Who knows, kid? But if what you overheard in that room at the circus is true, then Mayor Need definitely knows something. I'll talk to Need and see if I can get anything out of him. Just don't let that pendant fall into their hands, no matter what.
I know. I won't give this up.
Alrighty then. This thing here is the problem. We gotta finish this up and take care of that pesky elephant.
All you need is an energy pack, right?
Yep.
Well, Cedric, how about letting me handle that?
You telling me that you want to make the energy pack for Steve?
Yeah, I want to give it a try.
Alrighty then. The job's yours.
All right.
You know, inventing stuff is pretty tough work. I'll show you how, Sonny, so you listen carefully.
This is the introduction to the game's crafting system.
Okay.
Inventing something involves taking several ideas and combining them together to create something new. And ideas are, well, the building blocks for inventions. By combining the ideas inside your head, you can invent brand new stuff. Now here's some hints on making an energy pack for Steve. A milk can, pipes, and a belt. Now this is where things get tricky, see? Next, you gotta do some collecting. Here, use this camera. You can use it to capture stuff. First, press the square button to ready the camera. Then you can capture whatever you see in the viewfinder. Use the left analog stick to control the direction. And to take a picture, just press the square button again. Pretty simple, huh? Now you better go take some pictures. You need to look for a milk can, pipes, and a belt. You should be able to find them all within a couple 100 feet of here. You ready, Max? You're on your own now. Go get them.
Alright, so we just got a new key item there, and not only are we getting access to the game's crafting system, we've just opened up probably one of the longest side quests, if not the longest side quest in the game, which is photo collection. Now, we also got this inside scoop memo. Now, I want to go ahead and slot that up there with the notebook. And despite not being a collectathon style game, the biggest side quest in the game is in fact a collectathon. You can take pictures of so many things and use them as ideas for inventions, and we'll get into that when we actually start making more stuff. But there are specific pictures that you can find for like special plot events and certain characters, which classifies as an inside scoop. You may have noticed when I was showing off Donnie Mart earlier, one of the options in dialogue with Donnie was, give me a scoop. You get those from him. And if you open up the camera here, you see we have the viewfinder. If you open the menu while you have a camera, or you have the camera out, you'll go into the photo menu. Now, a couple things here. Pictures taken, how many pictures you've taken. Number of ideas. You'll notice a score and level. Score is basically your photography experience. If you get a picture that is an idea, you will gain 2 points. If you get a scoop, you will get 5 points. For every 100 points, you gain a photography level. Every time you gain a photography level, you can go talk to Donnie, and he'll give you free stuff. And so many things in the world, which you would think are just like innocuous little bits of the environment, can be used as an idea. This one I don't think counts. Yeah, because even though this is clearly a bed, this won't count for a bed photo. However, if we zoom out, that one counts for a table. If we move over here, get a better angle on that, this will count for a chair. Or not, it just counts for the table. But you notice how that picture has a yellow light bulb next to it. If it has a yellow light bulb, that means it's an idea. Taking a picture of an idea for the first time gives you 2 XP. Okay, so that lamp does nothing. Wooden box. That doesn't count for drawers for some reason. It does that. Box. Cart. Barrel. Vacuum bag. Got barrels already. Structure. Now, something else you can do with the camera is you can take pictures of NPCs. If you catch them in a viewfinder, they'll do a little pose for you. Taking pictures of NPCs for the most part doesn't accomplish anything, but you can get silly little idle animations from seeing them. That doesn't count for anything. Do you count for a chair? No. That doesn't count for a hammer for some reason. That doesn't count for anything. Do you count for a light? Nope. Yeah, Cedric's shop is pretty hit and miss as to what actually counts for what. I think this counts as a vacuum, though. Yep, that counts for a clock. Yep, there we go. And you'll notice we actually have a very limited number of pictures that we can actually take. Hey, Star, I got a better idea. How about I smack you with this? How's that for a bonky hammer, Star? book reader. I think this counts as a vacuum bag. Yeah, we already got that. What's new? That's binoculars. Okay, so we can't take any more pictures. So what we do is we go to the menu. Now, normally what you'd have to do is you would use the idea photo to make the invention. However, you do have an idea notebook. So what you do is move idea from photo to idea book. All the ideas you've captured will now be inside a little notepad, and you can freely clear all of your photos out and just go about collecting more. And you can get photos pretty much anywhere. Not just outside the dungeon either. Some scoops will require you to take pictures of stuff inside the dungeon. Is anything on the roof? I don't think that counts for anything. We can't get chains, I don't think. Nope. But this game really does reward exploration by this mechanic of just taking pictures of everything. You are literally a tourist. So here's one of the things we need. We need pipes. Just kind of out of the way there. Let's see. Take a shop sign, trash can. You get a picture of the manhole cover. Let's see. A shrubbery. A shrubbery! Sunshade. You can't get a door. You can get a window. You can get a picture of this thing. Nope. Flags, little banners they have around town. Sunshade, up and shop sign. You get a picture of the mailbox. You can get a picture of this traffic light. Which implies that despite the fact that this is mostly like walking streets, that they do in fact have cars. Street lights. Look over here, we can get a picture of a tree. I wanted the tree, thank you. I guess not. Yeah, as you can see, we need 100 points in order to actually gain our first photography level. We've only just stepped outside Cedric's shop, and we're already halfway there. There is so many ideas just everywhere. Ooh, maybe this will count for a chair. First thing you must find, another shrubbery! You asked me to chop down a tree with a herring, I'm gonna bonk you. Oh wait, no, you're not Sar. Bonking doesn't deter you. If you ask me to chop down a tree with a herring, I'm gonna somehow send Tyler through the pocket dimensions over to your house. Let's see, there is... Oh, wait, maybe this is how you get it. Is this how you get the tree? There we go, that's how you get a tree. No! Yes! No tree chopping with herrings for you. The pumpkins, rather seasonal. What did somebody say? Are they for the knights who say me? Maybe. Though whenever Tyler's involved, Koopa becomes a knight who says no! Alright, so this is Morton Sundries. This is the item shop. You can get kind of like basic necessities here. Look, there's a milk can. That's not the intended place where you're supposed to get that, but this is one place you can get it from. Phonograph, a clock. You can get a ladder there. Oh, you can get a ladder. Yeah, I think I already got wheat flour. There's a picture of the screen painting. Nothing there, nothing there. You can get a chandelier by taking a picture of his light. There you go. You already got the clock. Melty clock at that. See, he has a giant watermelon just stuffed here. How that doesn't go rotten, I don't know. Sundries, and I don't think there's anything past this guy. Now, the generic NPCs you can see just wandering around town, they won't pose for you, but if you do take a picture of them, you can find out what their name is. Not particularly useful, but there you go. Oh, do I have a regular sign? I don't think I do. Got the shrubbery. You can get the police sign. Oh, okay. Now this is one of the few times where you actually have to take a picture of an NPC for plot progression. This is Sheriff Winkhorn. He is the only NPC that visibly wears a belt. So that's where you're supposed to get that. So now we have all three of the ideas we need to make the energy pack. However, there's a few more places I want to explore and get a few more photos from. First off, the weapon shop. Let's see. Can't get the curtains. Can I get that fancy blue light? Yeah, light. There we go. See, I think that counts for weapon. Now, what about this knife here on the dartboard? Nope. Show window. Gold store, also called a safe. And here's Mullane, the weapon shop proprietor. Do you have anything against your back wall? There's a shield. There we go. Max's photography level increased. That tells us that we went over 100 points. We gained a level, and now we can talk to Donnie for a free item. There we go. That's how you get weapon. Armor. Oh, that doesn't count as armor. I think armor is somewhere else. Yeah. Gold store, and for whatever reason, she has an Iron Maiden down here. By the way, that note that's attached to the wall, there are random bits of, like, where you think you'd find in-game lore that can give you ideas for inventions. It'll tell you, like, the recipe for the idea. And an idea recipe is always consisting of three, or like an invention recipe always consists of three ideas, which is like this with the energy pack, like a milk cans, pipe, and a belt. And get that oven if I zoom in. There we go. Yeah, see, look at that, 110. And we're only like in the first street of the game, and we've already gotten our first level. There's so much stuff in Palm Breaks. And that's different from a milk can. Right, this is Polly's Bakery. This is where you can buy some rudimentary healing items, but there's no reason for us to shop here. Let's see. Let's keep looking around. There's more stuff we can snap pictures of. Wooden box in case I didn't already get that. I got windows, I'm pretty sure. Fountain. And here we have a cafe. Now this cafe is like purely for decoration and world building. You can't actually buy anything here, which is a bit disappointing. I figured a big town like Palm Breaks would have more places to shop, but sadly no. There's also a bar here. You can actually go inside the bar, and there's more stuff in here if you do. Barrel. Interestingly, the bar is inside of a broken down car, so you can get bar from that. Barrel, a wheel. Lamp. Okay, that doesn't count for anything. That counts as bottle, so that helps. I think this is where we can get the ladder. Where's the ladder? There's a ladder around here somewhere. Yeah, there it is, right there. Ladder. Yeah, you really gotta poke around the 3D environments in order to find it. There we go, now we got the chair. The wrapper, piano. I think we've got everything else. Yeah, I was getting attacked. You could have done more than just stand there. Yeah, that's that thing that was inside the underground water channel in Donnie's room. I'll pick that up when that's more relevant. Right now, we can't get them all. So I'm not going to worry about it. Bar sign. Do some shopping in the middle of the night. Why not? Oh, before I forget, where is it? Is it too late? No. The moon is an idea. When I say there are so many things you can use for ideas, almost everything can be used for one. Almost everything can be used for one. Flower chair, that's unique. Now, despite being a tree, I think these count as shrubbery. Yep, the Knights of Satan strike again! That doesn't count as a book? Okay. Whatever. Ooh, do these count as benches? No. Ma'am, I think you might want to take a look at your stock. It seems to have a bad case of the low textures. Okay, can't get basket. We can get a cup. Can we get bottle? Yeah. I mean, we already got a bottle at the bar. But I really like how the photo mechanic encourages you to really look around the 3D environment and just take a look at the kind of extent that the designers went to make a really nice world. Like, look at this building design. Like, just in that lobby alone. Look at that skylight. That skylight is needlessly intricate, and it's all the more awesome for it. That way, if you ever get what? I think your dialogue cut off there, man. But anyway, this is important. This isn't a scoop, but it is a unique photo. The Blackstone 1. That's the only way you can get it. Now, I don't think you can actually go inside the train. Yeah, that was a bit of a graphical glitch. I am playing this on an emulator, so it's not going to be perfect, but close enough. Now, we can take a picture of these. Freight train. Okay. I think that's everything we can get in the station. Okay, it kind of froze for a second there. I was worried my game locked up. It's just like, oh dear. Okay, I'm actually gonna go save, because that gave me a bit of a scare. Don't blame me for being cautious. Let's see, I don't think there's much of any interest in the police station that we don't already have. Yeah, as you can see, the number of ideas we're getting, or like new ideas we're getting, is slowly but surely dwindling because we are running out of things. Ah, a post. Now I think that's actually the pillar behind the picture and not the pillar, or not the picture itself. Or shrubbery. I think there were benches in here, right? Yay, that counts as a bench. Let's see. Yeah, it's a good thing I can get in here. Now we can kind of go further down here, but you see these clowns are in the way. Yeah, it's for the pillar. But yeah, you see these clowns are in the way. They won't let us by. Excuse me. Yeah, they won't attack us in broad daylight, but they are there to stop us from going to the town square, so there's only so much we can do. And I think that's everything we can get at this point. We might be able to get some stuff from Donnie? I don't know. I know we can get some scoops, but I don't know if there's any... I don't know if there's any, like, unique pictures we can find down here. So that doesn't count for anything. Yeah, this is that small box I was talking about. I'll get that later. That doesn't count for anything. No. And no, you cannot take a picture of the save points. They do not count for anything. Anyway, now you'll see the shop option is now Be My Friend. Shop's closed. However, we can now dig for a scoop since we have the scoop book. We get out 6. There's a ton of scoops we can get. And because we gained our first photography level, we can claim a prize from Donnie. Here we get a diamond. This is our first gem. Gems are an item you can use to upgrade your weapon. You can actually use almost any item to upgrade your weapon. And if you look at the item's status, you can see what kind of points they will give your weapon if you infuse them into it. Which you can see, diamonds give a little bit of everything with a little bit more emphasis on smash. However, we do not want to be using this to empower our weapon. I want to slide this all the way down here so I don't accidentally use it, sell it, or throw it away. I'm going to be hanging on to that diamond for pretty much the entire game up until almost the exact very end. Because that's important for another side quest that we won't get until the next chapter. So, definitely something to hang on to. But that should be everything. Did I get these lights? They don't count for anything, so the answer to that is yes. No new ideas? Alright, let's just clear out the camera and we're good to go. Alright, got your photos, Cedric.
Looks like you got all the stuff together there, Sonny. So now, go to the main menu and choose Make. From there, go to Invention mode and choose New Invention. Then, just choose the pictures of the milk can, the pipes, and the belt, and you're on your way to inventing the energy pack.
Alright, so now we have unlocked the Make menu, which is where we make inventions for crafting. So, ordinarily, this corkboard menu would have photos you've taken if you haven't moved them to the idea notebook. But we have, so we need a belt. Now, the order you put the ideas in doesn't necessarily have to match up with what NPCs tell you. It doesn't have to be milk can, then pipes, then a belt. We can do belt, pipes, milk can if we want to, or pipe, milk can, belt. It doesn't matter. The order is irrelevant as long as you have the 3 items that match. So let's see, we need a belt, a milk can, and a pipe. Once you have 3 ideas selected, press square.
Say cheese.
And if the ideas match up with the correct combination, you will invent an item. You can't craft it yet, you just have the idea.
Well, hot diggity. I do believe you did it, Max. That's my boy. Next, I'll tell you how to take the finished invention card and make the real thing. In order to make it, you're gonna need some materials. The materials you'll need to make the energy pack are 20 scraps of metal, 1 thick hide, and 2 hunks of copper. Now, you can get all the materials you need at the item shop across the street there. Hurry now.
Sorry, Cedric, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Take this. It should be enough.
And we get 400 Gilda, which is the in-game currency. Now, the game assumes you didn't get lucky with chests or random drops, because we actually did find a few of those things as random drops in the dungeon, but the game gives you enough money to make sure you can actually afford everything on the off chance that that's not the case. Alright, so I want to take a look at the Make menu. Now, if you go to the item you want to make, it'll actually tell you what items you need, and it'll tell you how many you're missing if you don't have enough. Now, something I like doing to maintain my inventory integrity is I like having my first item in a stack be a placeholder item. So I always want at least one of any given item so I know it has a place in my inventory. So in this case, instead of 20 scraps of metal, I need 21 to make sure I have a placeholder afterwards. This also means wow, I don't have any hunks of copper? That's usually a common drop. I forget from what, but that is a common drop. Surprised I don't have any of those yet. So let's see. Gunpowder we'll just happen to find, so I want 3 hunks of copper. I need 17 scraps of metal. And that should do otherwise. I could buy some other stuff here if I wanted to. I don't have the money for the monster notes. The cooking stove is useless, so I won't buy it, but I will be picking up the monster notes later. And then, let's see. 20 Gilda for gunpowder. Gunpowder's extremely common, so we don't have to worry about that. Alright. Yeah, everything looks good. We got the materials we need, so now we go to the Make menu, Energy Pack, and now we can create the Energy Pack. Whoosh! Now, something to keep in mind is that unless you go into the dungeon and spend the time farming the items, the materials that you need to make an item will always have a higher net cost in Gilda than the end result would. So it's not lucrative to use the invention system to make money off of the items you create. You will always create them at a financial loss. So there are better ways of making money than the invention system.
I've done it, Cedric.
Oh boy, I knew you had it in you. So, you think you understand the invention process now?
Yes.
From now on, you gotta use your own noggin, find your own building blocks, and make your own new stuff. Got it? There's still lots of building blocks hidden in this town, and I'm sure you'll find lots of new stuff wherever your travels take you.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've discovered over at least 60% of them just in the vicinity of your shop.
Keep your eyes open, you hear?
I will. I'm really gonna pull out all the stops next time.
This will be important for later if you feel like upgrading all the characters.
That's the spirit, sonny. Now then, why don't we finish up with Steve? Okay, now Steve can handle longer battles. It's time to go get him, son. Max, when you think you're ready, just give me a holler.
Okay, so we're about to go to our first boss fight. Big rule of thumb in Dark Cloud 2, you always want to save before a boss, not because the bosses are particularly difficult, but because almost every boss in the game pertains to a side quest. And if you don't do what's necessary for the side quest before you beat the boss, and you didn't save, or if you save over it without doing it, that chance is lost. So, let's go over that before talking to Cedric. By talking to Donnie and getting the scoops from him, we now have the Inside Scoop memo. We have 6 new ones. They don't appear in order, as you can see, but we do have 6. Night Stalker. We have to, for these will fill up the scoops portion. There's only so many of these in the game, and most of them involve an enemy doing something specific while in combat with you. There are a few that you can get outside of combat, but not very many. Let's see, Night Stalker. This one, you have to catch a Night Stalker doing its ballerina spin on camera. Brave Little Linda, which is why we wanted to save for, because Linda's our next target. That's the elephant. She has 2 attacks. She'll either attack you with her trunk, or she'll raise her front legs and try to stomp you. What you want to do for this one is you want to take a picture of her while her legs are in the air. Clown Robo's attack is for a boss we are not going to be fighting anytime soon. Baron's Hanging On is for an enemy we haven't met yet. Master Uchan is a NPC we haven't met yet, and King Mardan is an NPC we haven't met yet. So the only ones we can really do are Night Stalker and Brave Little Linda, based on what we already have encountered. So, okay, Ride Pod is not in the menu yet. This is important. If you want to get the Ride Pod and progress with the plot, you need to talk to Cedric. Nothing is stopping you from going back to the channel and going back to Linda's room that way, but if you do it that way, you won't have the Ride Pod, you can't win. You have to talk to Cedric.
You all set?
Okay, let's go!
All right. Time to saddle up and head out. This door leads to the underground waterway. You'll be heading out on your own, son. I'm gonna see if I can't get something out of Need.
Loud and clear.
Keep your guard up.
Leave it to me. Now where? Huh? Right there!
I bet you were thrilled when you thought you were alone here. Too bad. So sad. Tear them to pieces, my little Linda.
Okay, so before we get started with the fight... Oh, I missed it. So now that we actually have the Ride Pod in our possession, and we can access it from the character menu, and we can swap characters on the fly. There's 2 ways you can do that. You can either pause the game, go to the menu, go to the character menu, and select Ride Pod, or you can press down the right stick, and that will change between the character you're currently on and their secondary character function. For Max, that's the Ride Pod. Now, unfortunately, she opens the fight with the Stomp, so I need to try and bait her into doing it again, because I missed the free opportunity to get the scoop. I know, usually it involves touching her that makes her do that. Touching her, getting behind her. Got it. Brave Little Linda. So now we have the scoop, we can just beat up on her at our leisure. So some bits about the Ride Pod you might notice. In the top left, I'll go over that in a minute after cutscene time. Bye-bye.
Take that! Oh, you little brat! I won't forget this!
The outside world. Right then, my heart was filled with expectation, wondering what kind of places I would find. I had no idea that the incredible adventure I was about to begin was beyond anything that I could have imagined.
Run away! Yes, Koopa, run away! Wait, no, don't run away, I need you to mod. But anyway, so to give you some heads up on the Ride Pod's UI. In the top right, you have the health. Notice I'm just standing here not doing anything, and my health is ticking down. Being a machine, the Ride Pod uses a fuel supply. It's effectively in a constant state of poison. However, unlike the poison's status effect, the fuel ticking down to 0 can, quote-unquote, kill the ride pod. In the top left, or the top right, you will see the durability of the cannonball arm, which is our equipped weapon. The ride pod does technically dual wield, but for melee weapons in particular, it's classed as hitting with both hands at once. So smacking an enemy with a ride pod melee weapon will always do 2 points of damage. And then we have experience, which is what happens when the ride pod picks up ABS. Alright, I think we need to go this way. Now, if I check my camera... Wrong button combination. There we go, Brave Little Linda, I got it. We can save that to the ideas, and that'll be there forever.
Cedric!
All right, Need. What exactly are you hiding from me? Tell me everything you know.
I see. So you realize too, have you? Damn. But sometimes it's better not to know.
Why are you hiding things from me? I thought we were friends, Need. What's going on? Spit it out, will you?
Okay. I can't go on hiding it anymore. I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you what's going on here in this town, in this world.
And we won't hear a lick of it because we're not privy to that conversation. So, something important, at least for this part of the game, is if you do use the ride pod, which this will be like the ride pod tutorial section, so we will need to be using it from here on. I kind of glossed over it because I was busy talking about the scoops and other ride pod related things, is leaving a dungeon and going back in will fully heal your human characters, not the ride pod. Since Cedric is the one who created the ride pod, if you need to fix it, refuel it, whatever, you talk to Cedric. It's basically the same thing as resting at an inn, but specifically for the ride pod. Talk to Cedric, pick the refuel option, he will fully restore the ride pod's health and fix all the weapons. Fuel. Now, if you picked up experience for the ride pod, you can also talk to Cedric to upgrade the core. We don't have any experience on the ride pod, so that's irrelevant for the time being. But we did get the ride pod refueled, we beat Linda, we got our first scoop. I think we've made some pretty decent progress. It's a little over 2 hours, and I did work today, so I'm kind of sleepy. In the past couple of cutscenes alone, I've already yawned like 3 times. I think it's time for me to go to bed. Much as I would love to continue playing this game, as it is my favorite game of all time. But sadly, the lengths of my consciousness are quickly falling short, so I think what I'll do is call it here. I appreciate all of you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll continue this again tomorrow evening. And I look forward to sharing more of my love with this game with all of you. Take care. Good night.